Hey, what's up everybody? I want to talk about this Pouring Tower dungeon. I want to go over why the dungeon is so amazing and which map is the best to farm. A lot of you may already know all that there is to know about Pouring Tower, but a lot of the newer players ask for tips. And I can't really give specific tips to players because everybody's adventure is so different, because their rare egg rolls are different, therefore everybody's teams are different, so players approach the game in different ways. So it's very hard to give specific tips. However, I can point out some general knowledge and advice. I figure I would go over some things that I've done in my Puzzle and Dragons adventure that have worked to my benefit, put them in video form, and hopefully they are good enough to be classified under tips. So let's get into this. I want to do a video on Pouring Tower because one of the reasons why my monster box is so strong is because of this dungeon. Pouring Tower is a special dungeon that comes around every once in a while, and it's quite worthwhile to farm because it drops so many monsters that you can use to skill up your more powerful monsters. And if this dungeon is up during a 2x skill up event, then you could very well max skill many monsters in your monster box. If you are looking for pure skill up material monsters, the expert map is the best to farm because every drop will be a skill up material monster. The master map is actually worse to farm because it mixes in devils with the pouring monsters. And I can show this to you by going into Padguide. I'm going to cut out the music for a second. This app is pretty useful. If you're really into Puzzle and Dragons and you don't have this app, I would recommend downloading it, because a lot of questions people have could be answered with this app. So let's look up Pouring Tower. And we can see that the Master difficulty costs 50 stamina, and it has 4 different color pourings and the Angeling Invade. And then it mixes in the Devils as well as drops. And the Devils aren't skill up monsters. Like, they can skill each other up with the bomb skill, but it's not really that useful. Meanwhile, the expert map has a lot of skill up monsters. The Big Bubbly has Guard Stance Water. You can use that to skill up your Mermaid or your Shardra. The Blue Pouring has Attack Stance Water. You can use that to skill up your Siegfried or your Blue Valk. Then Big Woodsy has Orb Refresh. You can use that to skill up Mastering. The Green Pouring has Attack Stance Wood. You can use that to skill up your Kuchu. Big Shiny has Guard Stance Light, and you use that to skill up your Angel Lion or your Clash of Clans Healer. The Yellow Pouring has Attack Stance Light, and you can use that to skill up your Valkyrie. Big Baddie has Attack Stance Dark, and you can use them to skill up your Vampire or your Black Valk. Ghostring is the Poison skill up pouring, and you can use him to skill up your Lilith. Big Flamey has Attack Stance Fire, and you can use him to skill up your Titans, your Gigas, your Rowdy Red Goblin, or your Red Valk. That's a very popular skill. And then Angeling is the random evade that you can use to skill up your Hina Kagasuchi. This guy. So there are a lot of skill up materials in the expert dungeon, and it only costs 25 stamina as opposed to 50 stamina. You would think that the master map would just drop pourings because they want 50 stamina for it, but maybe in a future update that will happen. The master map is only worth farming if you want a mastering because the drop rate is higher. This guy right here, 40%. And if you want to ultimate evolve your mastering, then you will need a total of 6 masterings to make King Mastering. He's pretty cool. So I'm gonna show you a couple photos, 2 photos actually. I went ahead and did Master difficulty earlier today, and I got 6 Devils out of my 7 drops. And then I went ahead and did Expert difficulty, and all 6 drops were skill up monsters. Since the expert map is only 25 stamina, you can run it twice as opposed to running the master map once. So let's go back to Pad. There are a lot of monsters that I was able to skill up during the time that Pouring Tower has been around. I threw a lot of stones at the dungeon, but I was able to max skill a ton of monsters. You can start off by 2 Gigas the Great. Both of them have attack stance fire and have been max skilled. Then 2 Red Giant Gigas. And all of these were done by running the expert map of the Pouring Dungeon. I have 2 Masterings, both max skill. I want to ultimate evolve one, so I'm going to need to farm the master map until I have 5 extra ones. But both of them have orb refresh and are max skill. I need to max skill this blue Valk. I just rolled her not too long ago. 2 Siegfrieds, both max skill with attack stance water. We have a couple guard stance ones that are max. Drilling Shark, Megalodon, he's max skill. I believe our Siren is also max skill, guard stance water. I'm probably skipping over some, but these are just a few that come to mind. I have a Kuchu, that's max skill. I have 2 Valkyries, we'll just go to them. Both are max skill with attack stance light. Oh yeah, I missed one. Where's he at? This guy. Arcane Monarch, Vampire Duke, attack stance dark, max skill. And then we also have the other Vampire Duke. This one, attack stance dark, max skill. So there are a lot of monsters that you can max skill during this event. And a couple more notes to add. Usually the final day of Pouring Tower has a 2x drop rate. So if you are going to spend stones on stamina refill to farm Pouring Tower, it's probably more efficient to farm them on that final day. Sometimes they will put Pouring Tower out when there is no event, so there will be no 2x skill up rate, and this is how they get you. They want you to either attempt skill ups during a non-event week, or they want you to spend stones on expanding your monster box capacity. The reason why you would expand your monster box is to save up your skill up fodder until an event rolls around, then you can fuse them all and get your skill ups. And expanding your monster box isn't a bad idea at all. I recommend anywhere from 100 to 200 slots for mid-range players, but it's entirely up to you. I believe that's all I wanted to talk about regarding Pouring Tower. In conclusion, Pouring Tower is a fantastic dungeon for all players, and it remains one of my favorites. I credit a lot of my success to this dungeon because it made a lot of my monsters really strong because of the abundance of skill ups that the dungeon provides. I just wish it would come around more often. As always, I would like to thank you all for watching my video. Leave a comment if you wish. I read all of them, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.